Good day everyone, we are the Group 4 and today we will report about the simulation and application of interviews and interrogation. This presentation will explain the difference between interviews and interrogation and how simulation are used in law enforcement training and the legal standard we must follow. For the first slide, Nobi will explain the interview.
Interview is the simplest questioning of a person who cooperates with the investigation. In account of the interview, the witnesses voluntarily give their accounts about the commission of a crime. We all know what an interview is, but I'm here to give you the simplest explanation. Okay, so an interview is when you're just chatting with someone who is willing to help with the investigation. They voluntarily telling what they know about the crime. It's friendly conversation with witness and victim or just someone who has info that could be useful of the crime scene.
Let's proceed to interrogations. Interrogations, this refers to the questioning of a person believed to be in possession of vital knowledge or information with reluctance of the part of the subject. It's also accusatory questioning of a suspect believed to be involved in offense. Ibig sabihin, interrogation is conducted by police officers, which is si interrogators, i-interrogate niya si suspect. Ibig sabihin, ito yung pagtatanong ng isang tao na pinaniniwalang may important informations. Usually, ayaw agad nila magsalita. Kaya sinabi dyan na reluctance. O di naman kaya nag-atubili o nag-alangan silang magsalita. Sinabi din dyan na accusatory questionings, which is yung pagtatanong ni interrogators o ni police officers may halong accusations, which is it's direct to suspect. Kasi iniisip ni interrogators or ni police officers na yung taong yun ay may posibleng kinalaman sa nangyaring krimen ngayon.
What is simulation? Defining simulation in the context of law enforcement, a safe, repeatable environment to practice complex skills. This include role-playing, interactive software, and virtual reality. So, simulation used to practice skills before doing them in real life, so they can learn without danger. Example of this is role-playing, VR training, and computer simulations.
The PACE model, planning and preparation. Dito ay pinaplano ng interviewer ang buong interview. And then sa engage and explain naman is kinakausap muna ng interviewer para maging comfortable. And then sa account, clarify and challenge is build trust in para maging cooperative ang tao. And the closure is maayos na pagtapos sa ng interviewer. And the last is evaluation. Pagtapos ng interviewer na nag-reflect sa interviewer.
So, red technique. It is one of the primary interrogation techniques used by the police. The technique is long, complicated, and several strategies. The interrogation starts with the officer telling the suspect that evidence points to his guilt. However, he takes care to not actually blame the suspect for the crime. The officer engages the suspect in one-sided conversation. So, ang red technique is a method used by the police when questioning someone who might be involved in a crime. It works like a step-by-step process where the officer tries to make the suspect feel comfortable, but takes full control of the conversation. Sa simula, the officer tells the suspect that there are signs or evidence that seem to connect them to the crime. Hindi nila agad direktang sinasabi na ganito, kasalanan mo ito, pero pinaparamdam nila na posibleng may kinalaman siya.
Jurisprudence. The legal boundaries, key court decisions that simulation must incorporate and that govern the techniques practice. Jurisprudence refers to the legal boundaries that guide how simulation should be used. It includes important court decisions that explain what must be followed during simulation activities and what rules govern the techniques being practiced. In other words, it provides the legal framework that ensures all simulation practice are done correctly, safely, and within the law.
Foundational case, Miranda versus Arizona, 1966. the ruling. Establish the Miranda rights interrogation. This includes the right to remain silent and the right to have an attorney. If the interviewer didn't inform the suspect with these rights, all his statement is inadmissible in court. Simulation application. Simulations are critical for training officers on when and how to give the warning. Scenarios test the officer response when a suspect invokes their rights. Simulated witness interview. So this slide means simulation. Simulated witness interview is to teach future law enforcement officers or interviewers to ask good questions, how to make the witness feel safe. So we have a scenario here. A witness saw a stabbing incident but is hesitant due to fear of retaliation. So what is retaliation? In basic words, retaliation means revenge. Natatakot siyang baka balikan siya ng sinumbong niyang suspect. So, learning objectives, build rapport. This means creating trust. The interviewer should ask calmly, be gentle, mag-build siya ng trust, nang sa ganun ay maging comfortable yung witness. Use open-ended question. Instead of asking a question answerable by yes or no, the interviewer should ask a question, can you tell me what you saw? So that the witness can tell their story. Encourage narrative responses. Dito naman, pag nagkwento na yung witness, the interviewer must avoid interrupting the witness. Nang sa ganun ay may explain niya ng maayos kung ano yung nakita niya. Reduce anxiety. Dito naman, kailangan ng witness ng assurance. So the interviewer must reassure the witness that they are safe. Nang sa ganun ay hindi siya kabahan at may explain niya at masabi niya lahat ng nalalaman niya nang walang pagdadalawang isip.
Simulated suspect interrogation. So ang scenario natin dito is a robber suspect denies involvement despite strong circumstantial evidence. So may isang suspect ng robbery na ayaw umamin kahit na may malakas na ebidensya laban sa kanya. So ang una natin gagawin is apply Miranda rights. So apply Miranda rights, making sure we tell the suspect their rights like the right to remain silent and the right to have a lawyer bago natin sa tanungin. Then after that, use a structured interrogation process sa introduction. Magpapakilala ka kung sino ka and bakit mo sila tinatanong. And next is confrontation. Dito na ilalabas mo na yung ebidensya and tatanong mo sila kung ano ba nangyari sa kanila ngayon. And then the resolution, work toward the ending of interview. So dapat sikapin mo makakuha ng information or detalye hanggang sa pagkatapos ng interview. So next is assess verbal and non-verbal cues. Pay attention to what the suspect says and how they react. Kung both their words and both their body language, kung paano sila mag-react, kung paano sa mata nila, and then kung sila ba'y kinakabahan. And lastly is avoid question and leading question. So making sure the interview is fair. That means no threat, no pressure, and no question na makakatulak sa isang suspect na sagutin ang katanungan na yan. Kasi ang interrogation is ethical, not coercive.
So before we end our presentation, let us summarize the most important points about simulation and application of interviews and interrogation. So first, we learned that interviews and interrogation are different processes. So pag sinabi nating interview, ito ay ginagamit para kumuha ng impormasyon mula sa taong kusang loob na nakikipagtulungan. Samantalang ang interrogation naman ay para sa mga suspect na maaaring may tinatago o hindi nagsasabi ng buong katotohanan. Natutunan din natin kung bakit mahalaga ang simulation. Dito natututo ang mga estudyante o future investigators na mag-practice ng tamang pagtatanong kung paano magbasa ng kilos, tono at reaksyon at kung paano sumunod sa batas tulad ng pagbibigay ng Miranda right. Sa pamamagitan ng simulation, natututo tayong maging handa sa totoong sitwasyon, kung paano mag-handle ng witness, paano humarap sa suspect, at paano manatiling professional at legal sa buong proseso. So sa kabuuan ng aming presentation, ang simulation ng interview at interrogation ay hindi lamang tungkol sa pagtatanong, kundi tungkol sa pagpapakita ng respeto sa karapatan ng tao, pagkuha ng tamang informasyon, at pagtiyak na ang investigasyon ay patas, maayos at naaayon sa batas. Maraming salamat po.
An interrogation is the process of formally and systematically questioning an individual with the aim of eliciting useful information related to a suspected crime, and is carried out by trained law enforcement officers or intelligence agencies. An interrogation is not the same as an interview. In fact, they would be conducted at completely separate stages of an investigation. An individual being interviewed by the police is not necessarily suspected to be guilty of anything, but may have knowledge surrounding the victim or crime that is necessary for the investigation. An interview is the first stage in the information gathering process and is often non-accusatory with a conversational nature. The investigator will mostly use open-ended questions to establish certain facts and details. If an individual is interrogated by the police, it is generally because they are believed to be directly involved in the crime, with either direct or strong circumstantial evidence to support this. During an interrogation, the investigator will often dominate the majority of the conversation. It is purposefully designed to be accusatory in nature, with the aim of encouraging the suspect to first make admissions of guilt and then ultimately confess to their involvement in the crime. Throughout history, interrogations were traditionally carried out alongside physical coercion and torture, known as enhanced interrogation techniques. At the time, it was widely accepted that denying a person access to food, water, and sleep, along with inflicting extreme physical pain, would make them more amenable to interrogation and therefore more likely to expose any information they possessed. For example, British soldiers used these techniques following the end of the Second World War to interrogate German prisoners and those suspected of committing espionage on behalf of the Soviet Union. The Bad Nendorf Interrogation Center closed in 1947 after just 2 years of being open, following serious allegations of abuse and mistreatment on the prisoners. The US Armed Forces and CIA were also known for subjecting prisoners to beatings, waterboarding, and sensory deprivation to elicit confessions. These interrogations took place in various sites like Guantanamo Bay. It is unknown exactly how many people died as a result of these extremely inhumane interrogations. But following public controversy and internal investigations, both the legal standards and public expectations of how interrogations should be carried out became much higher. Police have adapted to these regulations, and there are many effective and more humane techniques that can successfully lower the confidence of a suspect and increase their likelihood of confessing. It is important for interrogators to be able to read both the mindset and body language of the suspect, as the direction of the interrogation will change depending on both the verbal and non-verbal cues picked up by the investigator. The setting that the interrogation takes place in is also important, as this helps to establish the role and relative power of the investigator and suspect.
Before an interview begins, Harris makes sure the box is set up in a way that gives him a psychological edge. The walls are kept blank.
When people are under a lot of anxiety, their mind can wander and focus on posters or pictures instead of focusing on you.
The suspect's chair on straight legs, while the interrogator's is on rollers.
Because I may start off being 3 to 4 feet away, but when they're right about to confess, I may be within inches of them.
Techniques will differ depending on the suggestibility of the suspect, the type of crime they are suspected of committing, and the country or state that the crime took place in.